Waker, the sail, a shield, a sword, Wind's Requiem, Ballad of Gales, Song of Past, and 4 Triforces.
Woofer deciding to go the not normal route of straight to Windfall, going to Forest Haven instead.
Probably going over to Cliff Plateau. This is becoming somewhat of a standard route.
So much Megalovania going on right now, as a couple folks are saying in chat, because we have double sands.
What the...
Yep, it is sands. Going for the storage, it looks. Tingle not having much of value. As we'll see what one of the 2 items here in Cliff Plateau is. The teacher has for us nothing. We gotta go round up some kids first.
Yeah. But we are going to store this chest. So you get that item after you go into a loading zone. For example, this one.
What item is it? Nothing.
Yeah, nothing good at least.
Might have just been. It might have been like. Actually, I don't know how many rupees he had going in. That might have literally just been like double storage.
Yep. So you store that chest to get up there, and then you store the top chest to be able to go to Bird's Peak.
Yeah. Okay, that's a thing. Oh, the pickup box. The Moblin's letter from Mr. Tot.
Well, this is gonna be interesting.
And as we know, walls are suggestions in this game.
Yes, walls, floors, the dolls, everything's a suggestion. Except the barrier. That barrier is fairly well designed.
And needing the light arrows for Phantom Ganon and Phantom Ganon and Ganon's Tower. I don't think that's a suggestion either.
Yeah. Did you see what the second item was? Because I know that I saw something in the inventory.
So there was a picto box and there was a bottle.
Okay.
Nothing says Zelda like running down a bunch of kids. Now, I'm not sure if having that picto box is going to open up anything immediately on Windfall.
I think it does. There's the 2 chests up in Linzo's house, and the gossiping ladies.
Yes. You know, I'm pretty sure Link is just straight up neutral in this game. He participates in gossip, running down kids, but also saves the world.
Yeah. Did you see what the teacher gave?
I did not catch that. Jingle has a whole lot of nothing. Except money.
Well, that seems counterintuitive for Tingle.
Yeah. And a whopping overfilled wallet for handing in the Moblin's letter.
Yep.
I don't know why, but every time Lenzo pulls, like, raises up the newspaper, I'm expecting him to start whacking someone that's behaving badly.
Oh my.
To answer the question in chat of how long do these seeds take on average, about 2 to 3 hours, roughly.
Yeah, that's about right.
And with that, we see Chasing Kids Part 2. As Neefe is waiting for Mila to go and try to break into a safe. And waiting. Woofer is about to go ahead and commence Kid Hunt. And Sans is a valiant Knight of Justice. And receives a grappling hook for it.
Ooh, nice.
So DRC is fully open now. Well, sort of fully open. There is a possibility that, due to the way the key logic works out, and depending on if the Deku Leaf is available, you may need that to complete DRC.
Huh? Yeah! Yeah! Woo!
It looks like Neefe is going to waste no time going to check. Although he might go check Paw Print too, because there's, I believe, 2 chests available to him.
Yeah, it's, you can get the, one on the wall and the freestanding one, and then also the salvage.
Ah, yes, the Salvage Core. I keep forgetting these guys exist until they have Aurora's Pearl. Which I did not catch when either of the runner looked at the map to see what our required dungeons are going to be.
Oh man, I didn't catch that either. We can see it each warp though, so we'll just wait till Woofer does that again. Or Neefe.
Come on, required Earth Temple. That's actually more of a Shadow Temple.
You know what I don't get? You have a bird in the Earth Temple, and you have a tree in the Wind Temple.
Yeah, that's a little unique, actually. Although I think if you... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, even as a casual, I was like, why?
Teacher had a piece of heart, and I think if the Earth Temple wasn't basically a Shadow Temple, it would have been a little different. But because Makar doesn't have that nice reflective loot...
I mean, I get that, but still, like, just Just come on. Flint is definitely earth and bird is definitely wind.
And that's money in paw print. Once again, this time to be a knight in shining armor, or a skeleton knight in a hoodie.
Oh, we might be about to find out what the islands are.
That looks like go ahead.
Forsaken Fortress, the top ones, basically. Did you catch the fourth one?
Tower of the Gods. So no Forbidden Woods and no Earth Temple.
Yep, there we go.
Now, we are going to get some mail from something.
Ferrar's Pearl.
I forgot there was a mail for that. I thought it was the other pearl. Hi, sort of grade.
Yeah, it's actually something you kind of gotta learn is what gives you mail, because otherwise you'll just completely forget it exists.
Comment in the chat of, you can't just mail a sword. You can totally mail a sword. Just pay, like, I don't know, 20 packs worth of stamps and postage on it.
I don't know, that seems like it'd be questionably illegal.
Just stick it in a box, you're fine. Anyway, good bombing from neefe to get into Dragon Roost. Oh, saying she teleported. That's, like, not surprising for you at all.
Physics are optional.
Yeah, that kind of bothers me. Everything in this game is a suggestion. Except the barrier.
That was a very well designed barrier. It's like they made, like, I don't know, 30 something flags just to break the barrier so that people couldn't, like, sequence break.
Oh look, we have Tingle's chart. Oh look, we have the delivery bag. Now we can use the mail.
Fun fact, if there's something in this game called animation sets. Basically the first half of the game is animation set 1 and the second half is animation set 2. From what I've heard, you could actually do barrier skip if those didn't exist.
Fascinating. As somebody who doesn't know the coding, I will not comment any further. As somebody who doesn't know the coding, how do we break out of the animation?
Well, I mean, the only way to do it is the intended way, which is to, it's something in the somewhere after you defeat Helmrock, after you go into that door, somewhere between then and the time you enter Hyrule 2 is when it switches. I can't remember exactly which cutscene it is, but it also doesn't really matter because it happens automatically.
So what you're saying is we just need to skip all the Helmrock cutscenes, but beat Helmrock.
You actually don't have to beat Helmrock, but... well, in vanilla, but in this, it's complicated.
Oh look, it's Din's Pearl. And Nehru's Pearl. Okay.
Where was Din's Pearl?
On Maggie from the Moblins letter. The actual Moblins letter.
Dang.
So we have all 3 pearls in the first 15 minutes, which means Tower of the Gods is technically open, but not actually that open because we need bombs.
Yep, only the first chest. But, you know that old, thing with Randomizer.
First chest has bombs and arrows are in its vanilla location?
Yeah. Yes, I'm evil like that.
And hello to everybody's favorite side quest.
Yeah, I kind of wish they'd take that back out.
But every Zelda game's gotta have a training sequence. It's like a tradition since Link's Awakening.
Yeah, not in these flags though, it shouldn't be, but I think everybody has a different opinion on that in the community. My personal one is take it out now.
Having never played one of these, I shall withhold having an opinion.
Oh!
Bombs?
Okay, what were we saying about Tower of the Gods now?
Tower of the Gods is So Dragon Roost in the Tower of the Gods to get your hookshot to get into Wind Temple?
Wait, did we find the hookshot?
No, that's just my...
Ah.
And by getting bombs, you get more mail, which contains the meat bag.
Which is logically required to get into Bird's Peak Rock, but we already did that.
Yup. So logically, you weren't supposed to have the whatever was in Bird's Peak Rock, which I think was just a bottle at this point.
Yeah, which actually gives you access to Grandma, which neither of them have done yet.
I think it's just a matter... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, with those bombs, Woofer is going to be able to do all of Paw Print. And I honestly think he'll at least check the first couple of chests in Tower of the Gods right after Dragon Roost, given he'll have the pearls at that point.
Oh. Possibly.
Or Bomb Island.
Oh, man, good old Bomb Islanders. We call it in Randomizer Trog Island.
Replace all the push blocks and all the armoses with magtails for holding down switches?
Oh,
That should totally be a thing.
that sounds disgusting.
It's only disgusting if you're, like, actually want to progress through the rooms. Oh, hi, Command Melody.
There we go. Also, chat, if I miss anything, please let me know, because I'm also doing tracking while commentating.
So, the question is, logically speaking, is the command melody required for Tower of the Gods?
To complete it, yes. Everything past the, mini-boss.
See what the last chest of Paw Print contains. Money!
Although it's not well known, but you can actually get the, Dark Nut chest without the command melody perfectly in Logic. You have to go to the... You have to have bow, though, but you have to hit the switch, hit the, eye thing, and then bring a statue across and place it on the little statues on the switch. And it will keep it active.
You have a Forest Haven check. Oh, wait.
Oh.
This...
We're never gonna go to Forest Haven because we... Oh, it's not required.
Nope. Now that's a Wind God's Aria. That... I think logically that's hard required. High power bracelets.
Yes, it is.
But...
Well... yeah, I think there's choice around it. Out of Logic, but in Logic, yeah.
I know out of Logic you can just walk to the boss store.
Yeah. I'm
So
just not sure.
Go ahead.
Actually, yeah, it's not required, I'm pretty sure. Well, you know, if you know glitches.
Glitches are great. Also, flower trading.
Although, no real reason to do it there, since you can just trade twice at Great Fish.
But he's also going and checking out Bomb Island, so he may do the trading while he's here.
I mean, you can only trade once here, though, which, is a problem, because you need to trade twice.
Yeah, if you gotta, I guess if you gotta go to Great Fish anyway, you just skip this one.
Well, you don't have to go to Great Fish ever, but it's the most convenient land.
Looks like we have Value Cavern.
There's actually a whole chart for trading sequence that I can send you later.
Sounds intriguing.
It's not really that entertaining. It's just kind of helpful if you're trying to figure it out.
Everyone's favorite enemy, the Magtails. Again, we need to replace all the switches with them. Clearly.
I disagree with you on that one, but...
You know, I do like how, when you pick up just a little bit of money, you get that, short jingle instead of the full jingle.
Oh.
Attack the boat! Looks like it's soup time. I believe there's a couple other things that are available on Outset while he's here. Or at least nearby. Alright, everyone, get ready for some soup. I would assume there would be a soup pickup here.
Yeah, so Grandma always gives the soup.
Oh, that's right, it's the additional soup that you gotta ask for.
Yep. I never noticed that the lava levels rose and fell.
You know what? It would be a very interesting thing to see
What?
if, not knowing that. Actually, no, never mind. I was gonna say if the runners knew where the mirror shield was and not to pick it up on gambling on angular isles not being required. But also, given the fact that when you pick up a chest, you get the item anyway, it's kind of hard to do that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Goma has been revealed to be a bug.
Although, something that can softlock you is if you store a chest and then you save and quit or something before you enter a loading zone, it will get rid of that item for...
Good old despawning items. Also, hi, totally not Gorons.
If you blow the leaf at them, you can actually see that they are very much Gorons. Just
Now
a fun
go ahead.
fact. What?
Oh, never mind. So there is one thing that the runners are still looking for besides that hook shot, and that is the 3 bow upgrades.
In
Which
the 2 Master Swords.
you know, the fact that there's multiple Master Swords floating around is kind of weird.
I mean, yeah, a little.
And folks, if you are concerned about the fact that the runners have only 3 hearts, don't be. Generally, you have like 5 to 6 hearts when you finish one of these seeds out, because Wind Waker generally doesn't really do much in terms of damage.
Well, that, and you don't actually get that many chests, so... Like, compared to how many are in the game, so, like, a lot of them are shuffled out.
I mean, you could turn on all, 280-something locations and just have a 10-hour seed?
There are people who have done that.
Looks like neefe is gonna go check paw print with his power bracelets. As Woofer is now gonna head into the ever so lovely Dragon Roost Value Cavern. I am expecting that we're gonna see these runners decide to just not touch Wind Temple until the very end, if possible. There's a large contingent of folks that don't like the Wind Temple.
I don't either. Also, it's 298 places.
What, they couldn't have added 2 more places in to make it 300? Come on. Hint, hint.
I mean,
Nudge, nudge.
in the dev build, there's actually 299 because you get the Master Sword location as well added.
So it looks like neefe's headed over to Cliff Plateau. He is going to get his bottle and his other thing. I forget what the other thing was. I think I picked a box.
Oh. And for him, it will be fully in logic.
Mm-hmm. So, when do you go to Tower of the Gods? Do you go as early as you can get in, or do you try to hold off until as late as possible and finish your overworld first?
Well, you know, I've kind of always been one of the players, and this is why I'm so bad, who just does the overworld first, but it is very inefficient. Alright, it was just a joy pendant in the first chest.
Only 20 more to go. Oh, wait. That's been taken out.
Yeah, fun fact, I had to get 40 joy pendants to get the grappling hook once in a beta version.
I didn't know there was even 40 joy pendants without the grappling hook that you could get.
You can. It just requires a lot of grinding. And after that, I told Lego that I was not going to beta test until he fixed that.
It seems kind of reasonable. Now with the grappling hook, neefe doesn't actually have to do chest storage to get into Birdspeak. He can just do the grappling hook glitch.
Yep.
Poor Birdspeak, it's never done the vanilla way, but as soon as you learn how to do it the not vanilla way.
I cannot get it to save my life.
Yeah, there is that part where the vanilla way is just... It's one of the hardest parts of the game if you're doing it vanilla.
Oh, I meant the grappling hook glitch.
Oh.
Although, according to somebody, it might be just because I never knew you weren't supposed to touch anything on the analog stick. Also, Solean, it's nice to see you. Hey, we always welcome new people.
This game involves a lot of sailing. You could almost say it's a sailing simulator.
Have we actually found anything useful in Dragon Roost? Aside from Leaf?
We found a Deku Leaf, we found Wind God's Aria, we found Power Bracelets, we found a Pearl.
I don't think Power Bracelets are actually required this seed.
I don't think so either. But they will make, I want to say it's Fire Mountain Isle, where you get those normally a little bit quicker to traverse if the runners decide to go there.
Well, actually, you can't pick it up from behind, and, you know, you just save quit out of there, so not really.
Well, then it's giving Neefe the ability to skip the bombs. For now.
Yeah. Though that might hurt him more than it'll help him. Because he will need those bombs eventually.
So with both runners retracing each other's steps, it probably will be a little bit before we start to see somewhere completely new.
Well, we're about to see what's at Trogile.
Survey says... money that you can't afford.
Yeah, sadly. You know, I kind of wish that Link would just put it back after he realizes, oh, I don't have enough space for it.
Doesn't Twilight Princess Link do that?
Which Link?
Twilight Princess Link.
I've never played Twilight Princess. Oh! That's something you see often. The storage to get to Goma. Chest storage.
Boss keys are suggestions.
Oh dear. Yeah. Well, did you catch what he got from that chest?
Nope. But I don't know, I don't think that was a leaf chest.
Oh, he already has... no he doesn't.
I forget where the leaf was.
Well, he probably got it.
I do believe it is hard required for Tower of the Gods.
Yeah, I think so.
Especially if you don't want to do all of the first 4 vanilla.
One of the statue rooms would be pretty difficult to get around, the third one.
You know, a bug fire type seems really counterintuitive to itself.
How so?
Well, wouldn't it just set itself on fire?
I mean, it does seem like a fire-based enemy.
This is still one of my favorite incarnations of Link, just because of how emotive he is.
Yeah, for sure. I wish they'd make another game like Wind Waker, but...
Also, when Link is happy to see that things have died. Yay, murder!
Oh dear. Also, where was delivery bag again?
I think it was in this chest that Neefe's about to open.
Oh.
And I'm pretty sure, based on the fact that Woofer went into a loading zone, he did get the one Gazaria.
And where were bombs?
Bombs were in a piece of mail, I want to say. But I don't remember which mail.
Right, Poosh? Also, welcome.
And now the epic mini-boss to rescue the treasure chest because Medley already vacated the area.
Yeah, it's a thing. You can actually save a little time if you get storage on those steps to skip the cutscene for the mini-boss.
You got the leaf. Oh, it might have been the wallet upgrade mail that led to the bombs.
That is possible. Yeah, actually, I think it might have been.
Because as we all know, when you have more money, people send you more mail.
I mean, seems accurate enough.
Yeah. Now, I still ask the logical question of why do we need a bag to hand mail to somebody when we could just physically reach into the pocket and hand them the mail?
Because Zelda logic.
Zelda logic, Schmelda logic. What, did that just say you could buy an orange rupee?
Yeah, I think so. So, we actually had Lago change the text in that to indicate what Beetle's expensive ship has. That was some kind of time ago we had Lago add that. But that's only really applicable if you have expensive purchases on.
And if you do have expensive purchases on and you happen to find a silver rupee that costs less than 200 rupees, you have your money farm spot.
You you know, admittedly, these flags that were chosen are very heavily based on what I liked when I was a beta tester.
Still waiting for the long side quest tournament.
Yeah, good luck convincing us on that one. Because, see,
What?
they have Withered Trees quest and the trading quest as well.
Wait, you mean there's another trading quest on top of the trading quest?
Yes.
Well, let's just do a large purchases then too, so that you can buy your Triforces straight from Tingle.
You know, the reason that I counted that one out in the end was because of the fact that it's just a lot of rupee grinding for not a lot of entertainment. Oh my gosh!
Wow. Okay, that's how this seed is gonna be. I think it
Is
also
this
opens for...
even...
Let me know, Skullhammer. Right? No? Okay, question. Do you need... Oh. Hold up. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just waiting for you to continue.
Oh, logically speaking, I know logically speaking, Skullhammer's required for, Forbidden Fortress, or Forsaken Fortress. But can you do Forsaken Fortress through a bunch of storage and wall clips and other means of getting around walls to not have to have the Skullhammer?
I'm not sure. You'd have to ask Wolf for that. See, I'm very much more familiar with the HD glitches, and unfortunately storage got patched in that game. Or useful storage, anyway. The way of getting it.
Also, I may be able to answer my own question because Helmar King, I believe, requires the Skullhammer. You can't use bombs
yeah.
on him.
Yep,
Like you can
that's
Helmsor King.
indeed true.
Yep. As opposed to Helmsor King, which falls to bombs if you're just really, really accurate.
Yeah, and if, you know, Forsaken Fortress is required, you gotta do that anyway, and if not, then why are you in there in the first place? At least in these flags.
Now, I'm gonna say this about Tower of the Gods real quick. For as much crap as everybody gives it because the first floor is legitimately terrible if you're doing it vanilla, I like the fact that the dungeon actually uses the water mechanic, and it's the closest thing we get to a water temple.
Well, you know, there was supposed to be a water temple, but this game got cut kind of short in development, so they had to cut a bunch of stuff out, but we think that Great Fish was meant to be a water temple.
I thought you were going a different direction than that. I thought you were going to say they cut the water temple because the overworld was a water temple.
No. Just, they kind of got, you know, time kind of became a thing. I'd love to see a Wind Waker remake with everything they initially intended to add. Don't you think that'd be cool?
Yes, actually. Especially, what that Great Fish Temple would have been.
Probably something awful.
Just gotta carry the boat through the whole dungeon.
And we think that Ice Ring was probably meant to be like an ice temple or something.
While I like that idea, my only issue with that would be that Fire Mountain would literally just be a repeat mini fire temple.
Well, maybe it would have been something different, you know. We'll never know for sure.
What if Fire Mountain was going to be the actual Earth Temple, and what we could know was the Earth Temple was going to be the Light Temple? Or the Shadow Temple?
Another question is, we very much assume that the eye reefs were just oh no, we need something to put in these islands. So they just put them in there.
You know what I think would have really made this... Something that I think would have really helped this game out is with the Triforce hunt in particular, and I don't know if Wind Waker HD fixed this to a degree, but having it where you could pick up the Triforces throughout the game instead of having to pick them all up at the end.
I mean, you can kind of ish. But you know, there's a couple that you have to get at the end because they require hookshot. But what HD did is it just replaced a few, like 5 of the charts with shards.
At least it's not the Japanese version. Get your charts to get your charts to get your shards.
Oh gosh. Yeah, and still somehow the Japanese version is quicker.
That just gives you an idea of how much text is in these games.
So I think that somebody said that it's like an hour and a half of just cutscenes, this game. The vanilla game, that is.
That sounds about right.
And keep in mind that the world record is under 4 hours.
I would assume that's all dungeons.
Well, that's it. You have to do all dungeons in original Wind Waker.
Oh, that's right, SD. I was thinking HD, where you could barrier skip and then just beat the game in under 2 hours if you wanted to just get really lucky.
Actually, Wind Waker HD, any world record is under an hour now.
Yeah, that's a thing that exists. So was the hookshot. Actually, looking at our item list, we're missing a set of elemental arrows and light arrows, and skull hammer and a couple master swords. But I think Wind Temple's fully completable at this point.
Yeah, I think so.
Does this people see an early Wind Temple?
If you're not counting the fact that your sequence breaking in there because you need Skullhammer to get in, logically.
Minor details, minor details.
But yeah, 5512 is the current world record for Wind Waker HD any percent by Ian Miles.
Yeah, that's a little dumb. Also, I wasn't aware that the 6 stages in Ocarina of Time just had to stand on a button.
And then the... Oop.
Going for the jump.
And then any percent in original is 348.17 by Demon.
And that right there is just a sign of how ridiculous barrier skip can be.
Yeah. And item sliding.
Wait, hold on. There's a grappling hook thing on the ceiling of this room.
Yeah.
For the longest time, I thought you had to do this by Deku Leaf.
Nope.
So that means this actually, logically, I don't think is Deku Leaf blocked.
Nope.
Except for maybe that last room.
Just the third statue room is. I think we just broke Alsoa.
Yeah, I need to rethink some life choices.
Don't worry. I think we've all had those moments in Rando where we're just like, what?
We need a scope for the bow.
So there is actually that option on a couple of the models, but that has been banned in this tournament. Simply for the fact that the other models don't, and it would be an unfair advantage. Now,
Which is reasonable.
if all the models had it, it'd be fine. But yeah,
There's one item from Twilight Princess that I really liked that I would love to see implemented here, except not because I would kind of go a little bit overboard, and that is the Hawkeye scope, where you can actually zoom in like you're a sniper.
I mean, you could suggest it to Lago.
Except it's always behind the trading side quest, the full one.
That's gross. But this is rando.
And your reward for playing the song? A chest.
Which contains Skullhammer.
Cool. All of the dungeons are fully completable. Actually.
Yeah, so we're in no mode. Well, go mode, but no mode. But it so technically you're supposed to have the boomerang, but I don't think these runners care.
Hi, Mirror Shield. Angular Isles is open.
Where was Mirror Shield?
It's this chest right here that Woofer's in front of.
But yeah, we're in no mode. And, actually, Neefe's in go mode. Actually, I assume Woofer got the hook shot, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we're both in go mode. Dang.
Well, we do kind of need those swords in that bow upgrade.
Oh! Right. That's the thing.
But we are in go
Never
mode as
mind.
far as... go ahead.
I said, never mind me.
Well, we are in go mode as far as going into the dungeons is concerned. They are fully clearable at this point.
Yeah, no, where are the swords and the bow upgrades?
Is it bad that I want to see both swords in Forsaken Fortress?
No, that'd be kind of funny.
Now, hold on. Okay, that's right, you do need the, oh, there's also something evil that could happen, right?
Okay.
So, we need the fully upgraded Master Sword in order to break the barrier.
Right.
We don't need any of the bow upgrades to break the barrier. We just need the base bow in order to get through Tower of the Gods, assuming Wind Temple is not elemental arrows blocked, which I don't think it's going to be.
I don't think there's anything that requires it that I can think of offhand, but yes, elemental arrows can be in the Ganon's Tower chest.
And that's exactly what I'm thinking. Elemental arrows in the Ganon's Tower chest to get your light arrows out of one of the two of Ice Rink or Fire Mountain.
Yep, that is a thing that can happen. I actually heard one time of somebody getting the grappling hook in the vanilla light arrow chest.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Was just like, thanks, game.
You know, the wizards in this game aren't nearly as scary as they are in,
No, but they're still annoying.
Yeah, but they also look like birds.
Kinda-ish. Although, something that you've probably never noticed, if you see the Godan room, and you watch Breath of the Wild or play it, just think of how similar that room looks to Shrines. Like, the design. Once you see it, you can never unsee it.
You know, I actually should play Breath of the Wild at some point.
It's fun in its own way, but it's not really worth being called a Zelda game.
I mean, Zelda's not necessarily a stranger to doing things outside of its own norm.
Yeah, but it's a little too far out to be really called a Zelda game. It's a Zelda game in title only, really.
Having not played it, I'm gonna not speak too much about it from this point, except to say that, regardless of its status as a full Zelda game or not, I'm still looking forward to playing through it at some point.
Oh, it's definitely fun, but yeah, just don't go in there expecting a Zelda game.
At least not a traditional one. Neefe needs to watch his health a little bit. He's down to, quarter heart.
Also, yeah, Breath of the Wild randomizer seems like it'd just be kind of pointless.
Yeah, there are some games that really don't... that really would not suit a randomizer well.
I mean, if you had asked me a few months ago, I would have said that Wind Waker would never be a good randomizer.
There's a couple things you need as we see a Godan fight from Woofer in order for a game to be considered good for randomizing. To me, one of those things is a direct progression path.
So I always assumed that, you know, there were a few things that I thought would be an issue with Wind Waker. First of all, just the huge amount of chests, it just spread out everywhere, was one of the issues. And then the fact that it's all very, you know, linear, like extremely linear. I was just like, that's just not gonna work. And then the animation sets being a thing, it was just like, yeah, that's just not gonna happen, like, ever.
I mean, you could make that argument for a lot of 3D Zeldas, though, and, well, almost all of them now have randomizers. I don't think there's a Twilight Princess randomizer yet.
It's in progress from what I hear, but, the issue is that, like, you know, Wind Waker, the vanilla game, is extremely, extremely linear. Like, they have so many flags to do everything. Like, they very much did not want you sequence breaking anything.
Agreed. And I'm not saying this to say that it wasn't difficult. No, I imagine making this was an extremely daunting task, knowing everything that went into it. But also knowing how modding communities are in general, I can't necessarily say I'm surprised that there's a randomizer for any given thing. If somebody wants it bad enough, they will make it happen.
I'm just surprised it worked. Like, I thought it would be a boring rando. How wrong I was. Like, I remember the first time I found out about Wind Waker Rando, it was in the very early beta stages, and I was watching a friend of mine, like, just in the middle of the night and nobody else was on, so I decided to watch them, and I saw Randomizer in their title, and they were playing Wind Waker, and I was like, oh, they must have forgotten to change the title. And then I saw them pick up a random chest, and it wasn't what it was supposed to be. And I was just like, what?
And it looks like today we're getting a super swim to Forsaken Fortress.
Yep.
It's very interesting how people find certain other things, like when Waker Rando is a thing that wasn't supposed to exist, but it does, or whatnot.
Yeah, basically. and then I was like, can I get access to this? And they're like, yeah, I could use more beta testers. Because at the time there were only like 2 active beta testers. And then I eventually asked if I could host the first tournament.
Well, next thing you know, you're here.
Yep. Which is stranger in so many ways than most people even know, but we won't get into that.
So we have a Phantom Ganon tennis match. It sounds like Sans is saying to Phantom Ganon, you're gonna have a bad time.
I actually needed the audio a long time ago and just started my own playlist.
So let's see what Phantom Ganon gives us today. After some soup dupe, or at least soup dupe preparation.
Gonna go for chest storage here.
Is that a giant bone?
Yes.
I just noticed that was a giant bone.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Alright. He has stored the chest. As long as he goes in a loading zone. And walls are now floors. Wait, is he skipping the entire Forsaken Fortress and just going straight to the end boss?
Yeah. That's the thing you can do.
I assume he'll come back for the chests.
I assume so, yeah.
And we have Neefe in Needle Rock Isle. Wait, no, this isn't Needle Rock. Which one is this?
That is Diamond Step, and that is a sword as well.
Ooh, that's a good find. So let's see what the second item in Diamond Step is. Wow!
Oh.
Looks like Value Step today. Now granted, the time that Woofer is spending here in Forsaken Fortress is not a wash, as he does need to beat as both runners will need to beat this boss anyway. However, having a Master Sword upgrade and elemental arrows inside of Diamond Step is huge. And I don't imagine that Woofer's gonna go check Wind Temple before he checks that.
Probably not. But then again, it is Woofer. I think only Woofer knows what Woofer does.
Alright. So let's see if the boss breaks during the glitch.
Please don't wish that on any runners.
Oh no, I'm not referring to the part where the boss gets stuck up on the ceiling. I'm referring to the part where the boss goes into his flying animation while you're down here.
Ah. I was gonna say, that is the, most horrible thing. Especially if you're not too good at storage, and suddenly, you have to do storage again, and you're just like, oh no.
Who wants some turkey, guys? I'm not gonna lie, this is easily my favorite boss death animation in the entire game.
Yeah, kinda gotta agree with you there.
And speaking of bosses...
Oh
Well, that's not
my.
a boss. Speaking of bosses, we are gonna get to hear the best boss theme ever.
Yep. But we also just got the Cabana deed.
Alright, let's go fight Ganondorf. Wait. Hold on, we're back here.
Yeah, so most of the cutscenes have been taken out. I actually think that Ganon cutscene is a animation set 1 cutscene anyway, so I think that would crash. Because to make it simpler, we just started animation set 2.
I know this starts in Triforce, or Hyrule 3, which is where you're doing the Triforce hunt, but I did not know the connection to the animation.
We're starting in in-game, flags. That's all you gotta know.
And that's really all that matters.
Yep.
This chest contains... Yeah, treasure. Now, my question still stands as we see the chest pop up on Neefe's side as to why the Mother and Child Isles chest is considered not in logic.
Because it's a Great Fairy chest, I think, and also miscellaneous. Maybe and/or.
Right, but I'm thinking in terms of it's effectively a free thing to check.
So,
and if they put in... Oh, go.
There's a lot of chests that can be classified that way, but those chests are considered miscellaneous because, well, it's a little out of the way for a lot of them.
I could see that.
Though we did consider at one point adding Great Fairies to the flag set in the original tournament before.
Hi, Earth God's Lyric.
But eventually we decided against.
I feel like it would be an interesting option in the event of a tournament where you have the flags get harder as things progress, which I don't know if this tournament is doing that.
So part of the issue with that, so first tournament, one of the channels wanted it to be sub 4 hours, and then Speed Gaming wanted it to be sub 3 hours, and it's like, well, I guess I can do that.
So there are certain limitations you would have to put on to keep the times manageable, and I do recognize that. I just think if you had the Great Fairies, not the big Octo Great Fairies, but just like the regular Great Fairies, I feel like you wouldn't add that much time to the average seed, but that's not my decision to make.
I mean, we could always ask in the Discord, but I don't think it would add that much to the game, really.
Errol's letter gives you... Errol was sitting on one of the most valuable resources in Hyrule, and... Yeah, okay. That explains why she's by right now.
Bottles in... oh boy, follow alerts. But bottles are some of the most broken items in most Zelda games. Like, think of A Link to the Past, or Ocarina of Time, or stuff like that.
So what you're saying is the two NES games had the best programmed bottles because they weren't broken.
Pretty much. Although, Wind Waker HD really doesn't have a broken bottle or glitch.
Woofer almost got the swag triple. As you see an Angular Isles check. Fire your beam of light into the toothy maw, and your response is a chest.
Oh my.
Now we can use the power of color technology. Now we just gotta get Link to dress up in red so that he gets double. Oh wait, that's that other game. And I think we're about to see a diamond step check. Now, vanilla light arrows are still very much an option.
Yep. Vanilla light arrows are always an option until they aren't.
Yes. Now, we'll never see a sword upgrade down at the Ganon chest just because of the fact that we have to get past the barrier.
Plus, I think you have to have all the swords to get to Hyrule 3. I think that's the only time that the portal opens.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
So we know that the hardest boss in all of Zelda 1 is the stairs. The hardest boss in all of Wind Waker is, what? The sailing? The barrels? Maybe the pots? One person in the chat saying the sploosh game. What do you think it is?
Who knows? Oh, fire and ice arrows for Woofer.
You know, I like the use of the wind and the leaf here to get across. The Forsaken Fortress.
Alright, there's that for, what? Can you do this? I guess you can do this.
Have you ever had boiled turkey?
I say I'm a fan of turkey.
Wait, is boiled turkey even a thing, though? Or is it... I mean, I've heard of deep fried turkey and people setting their houses on fire with it, which is unfortunate to hear about.
Oof.
But I've never heard of boiled turkey. That's a boomerang. So that puts something in logic, but I don't know what. Papa cannon?
Yeah, basically.
And again, walls are suggestions.
Oh my gosh!
I did, unfortunately, miss what that was as we were...
Light arrows.
Oh, okay. Well, vanilla light arrows will not happen.
So now, where is that last sword?
I think at this point, you still check the islands, but... there is an argument to be made that you just go ahead and do Wind Temple now, and hope you find the sword in there.
So there are advantages and disadvantages to that. From what I understand, Wind Temple and Go Mode can be quite quick. But at the same time, the chest density is a lot greater than the overworld.
Yes, but there is also the fact that it's Wind Temple, which can take a little while to clear out. Whereas if you're just going to the boss, you kind of just rush to the boss.
It's kind of like Swamp Palace in A Link to the Past. Very item dense, but a lot faster in Go Mode than not in Go Mode.
Well, it looks like we're getting at least an ice ring check, which tells me he's probably going to go to Fire Mountain afterwards. And just ignore the puzzle.
Yeah.
Hi, Tingle Statue.
Also, I've completely been forgetting to update the shard number.
Minor detail.
So we are just looking for a sword and we're good to go. This is crazy. Also, looks like neefe may be about to get his, yep, he's going to the cabana. So here very shortly he will have his light arrows. Hello Michael K, how are you?
Glad to see that there's a lot of people here to say hello to us and the runners. Speaking of that, now that we're like, I don't know, an hour or something into the seed, please do give both of our runners, wooferzfg and neefe, a follow for putting on an absolutely excellent and close race for us today, as well as my co-commentator and our tracker, MathGirl7AT.
I don't know, I'm not very good.
All the more reason to give you a follow, because you're a wonderful person. Let's go with that. Anywho, mail time.
Follow my co-com also, much better than I am. It's
Yeah, but I don't even run Wind Waker Randomizer.
minor detail.
Yes, definitely.
I could always get you into it.
Oh, my issue is not lack of desire, it's lack of hardware.
Do you have a computer that can run, what am I asking? You're capable of restreaming. You could run Dolphin.
I also do have a Wii sitting in my apartment.
I could get you set up on that.
Well, then I may start running this at some point.
Just hang around after the stream and I'll get you this stuff. If anybody else wants to play this game, you can go over to the tournament Discord and we have a bunch of tools. Or, like, not tools really, it's like instructions on how to set up.
Well, technically a set of instructions could be considered a tool.
True. Plus, I do have a couple files in there that are to make the emulator on Wii possible.
And as we all know, all of us have copies of Wind Waker because we all enjoy this game, let's be real. We probably all bought it twice, except me.
Yeah, y'all have to find your own copies and stuff, and we'll just assume that they're legally ripped off of your game.
Yep.
And don't tell us otherwise, please.
Yeah. Assume that if you are assume that it will not be heard. Also, Wind Temple.
Although there is a instructions in the Discord as well on how to rip the game off of your official game if you have a Wii.
Now, also very important, this does not work with, as far as I'm aware, this only works with the SD version.
Yes, you have to have the English Wind Waker original.
And now we take the tree into the Wind Temple.
Oof. I mean, you can always buy a US disc and just homebrew it so that it... I'm not sure if that... I don't know. I actually have an original Wii and like a US Wii and a US copy, which yes, I did actually rip mine off. But...
Yeah, I mean... Wait, Makaris waited enough to press switches? I don't remember this. I always thought he was too late.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Oh, hey, early boss key. Also, shoutouts to the developers for making the iron boots an equipable item and not or rather a equivalent of a C button item.
Oh yeah, that's true. I'm not sure if you can rip off the game from non-region same games though. Probably.
Makara takes a buffet of wind. No, you know what? Link is not the true neutral. Link is like the neutral good. Makara is the true neutral. His facial expression never changes.
Okay, Michael K confirming that it's possible.
So both of our runners are in the Wind Temple. Depending on where the sword is in here, I would assume at this point it's in here based on what all we have seen on the overworld. We could be looking at a semi-full clear or a effectively full clear if there's only 1 or 2 chests left by the time to get it.
Yep. Or it could
know-
just...
Go
yeah.
ahead.
Who knows? Crazy things in this game. Plus, it could be a letter. You know, the Maggie's letter and the note to Mom still haven't been found.
You know, as much as I like trolley situations, I kind of want to see the sword in here in the Wind Temple and not through the letter. But on the other hand, I don't want to see the sword in here because Mulgaria theme. I want to hear it as long as possible. You got a piece of heart. And the other thing, as y'all have probably seen, is that the runners don't end up picking up double magic usually because it also can be in one of those miscellaneous chests that is never picked up. There's a letter.
Yep. And he's stepping. Yep.
Okay. Interesting choice. Well, no, wait. Oh, he might have just been saving waiting to get back quicker. That is the thing that the runners will do. Especially with the warp pot. Now, how did Makar get over there from the entrance?
Oh, well. You know. Randomizer logic.
Everybody uses randomizer logic. Eventually, you have to apply normal logic. So we have a Wind God's aria. Makar pulls out his little, would that be a viola, or would that be still considered a violin?
I don't know the difference.
I think one's just a smaller version of the other. But don't quote me on that. Or quote me on that, and then I can look like an idiot on the internet. Oh wait. Welcome to the magic of light arrows. All of your defenses are useless. Wow, they are both in the same room right now. Wait, no they're not. The game tricked me.
Yeah. A lot of rooms in Wind Temple look very similar.
Now that's an item I haven't seen in a long time. That's the bomb bag.
Oh yeah, that's in there still.
Falling, we are still falling, and here's a chest. Hey, we can go get the hurricane spin. We just need 9 more of those. So, is this room triggered by breaking all of the floor blocks, or is there a different trigger?
So the one chest is always there, and the second chest you have to break all the blocks.
Gotcha. Okay. And then you just do a nice little sword hop to get up here. See, even your... Oh, there's the sword. And, ladies and gentlemen, 1 hour, 32 minutes, and 20-some-odd seconds into the seed, we have hit bow mode. Wait, I mean go mode. To answer the question in chat, the average time is about 2 to 3 hours for a seed, and I think this seed, based on what I've seen so far, is probably going to clock in about 1 hour 45. So this actually should be a relatively quick one. Thankfully, you don't have to do this room at all.
Yeah, that room's really annoying. And poorly programmed at that.
Yeah, that is,
Neefe having
honestly, the
some
last...
troubles with the roll clip. It's a frame-perfect roll out of bounds. Maybe used to the HD one, because the timing's different.
Now, honestly, the last 3 rooms of this temple, if you're trying to carry Makar through them, are absolutely awful. Thankfully, whoever was installing this door forgot to put the caulking between the door and the wall. And everybody, let's get ready for the best boss music in this game.
Alright, Woofer fighting Mulgera.
His sideways mount still kind of creeps me out.
Yeah.
And Mulgera goes down. As Neefe is fighting the Wall Masters, or Floor Masters, whatever they're called in this game. But with that, the final Triforce Shard drops, and Woofer will be able to go on to face off against probably actually one of the best Ganondorf fights in the series.
Well, you say that until you realize you can soft lock in like 3 or 4 different ways.
You see, I was not actually aware of that up until this point. That makes the fight actually sound terrible.
I mean, they're very rare soft locks, but
Also,
what are you doing, Neefe? You're in go mode. What are you doing?
You have gotten the great sword of swordiness. Unless he's thinking he wants the boomerang. I mean, he might be thinking he needs the boomerang for Puppet Cannon. I don't know how comfortable he is doing it snipe style. Which I forget what the boomerang was. Maybe Ice Rink? Everyone, please have your personal protective equipment ready. We are not responsible for any falling shards of glass that hit you in the eye, legs, arms, or other body parts. And now we go and see... I would have honestly loved to have seen a full Hyrule with this art style. Looking back on it, I think it would have been very interesting to see.
Yeah. Oh, I think they could do a lot with Wind Waker if they did a remake, but...
I don't even know if I'd want to see... Oh, go ahead.
I don't know, I think it'd be fun, but I doubt they'll ever do it.
I think we're more likely to see another just independent game in the same art style as Wind Waker.
True, but I don't know.
Now, one of the things that is included in this flag set that we didn't actually discuss at all is that the boss refights have been taken out.
Yep. Was a nice little feature, and we immediately implemented it in the first tournament upon it becoming a thing.
Yeah, I mean, if you've made it this far, you probably are able to fight the bosses. Now, what I think would have been interesting, and this also goes for the vanilla game, is if the boss refights were more than just refighting the exact same boss, if there was a new twist or a new thing with it.
I mean, not really. It's a little quicker and easier. Because, you know, you have the full Master Sword. And the rooms to get there are a little complicated, but otherwise, nah, it's pretty much the same.
Also, shoutouts to this cannon for having actually one of the best defensive systems overall for his door. It's actually only weak to the weapon that his guard drops, so Link can't get in there on his own, which is just fantastic.
I mean, you can, but it's not easy.
I feel like that describes this entire game. You can do everything in any order you want, but it's not easy.
You can't skip the barrier in this game, to our knowledge. Now, I was still a believer in when Waker SD barrier skip becoming a thing eventually, but that is a very, not something most people believe. Basically, they come 3 units of speed from going through the barrier.
You see, when I look at it, I don't even look at the barrier as far as things that you can skip. I just think everything else in the game, there's probably a workaround for it. And it looked like, I don't know if he got 1 or 2 shots. He got all 3 shots snipe style. That was actually a very clean puppet cannon fight. Also, neefe is headed right back into the Mogera fight. Jaquaid, yeah, this scene actually was pretty friendly. No Earth Temple required. A lot of your required items were in very convenient spots. Really, the only thing that could have been trolly was just the fact that, you needed to go through, what was it? I think it was, the fact that Diamond Step Isle had the elemental arrows. Outside of that, everything was pretty much on the runner's path. And, because we couldn't have a Zelda game without a Troll Dorm, here's Troll Dorm. Now bear in mind that you can technically beat this form of Ganon without bombs, but you just have to be very, very accurate with your silver arrowage.
Yeah, it's not easy. Although you can just do a spin attack on him to get him to stop.
I did not know that.
Yeah, you have to spin attack his face.
Apply spitting sword to face to stop the worm. Or snake. I think it's actually a snake.
You can also throw bait down, and he'll just circle around it from what I hear.
I would make some comment about how there's always a weak sauce weakness to Ganon, but given it's a snake, that actually kind of makes logical sense. And neefe has picked up his full Triforce. I would assume he's just going to go to Hyrule and try to snipe Puppet Ganon down. But again, I don't know how comfortable he is doing that. fully assembled Triforce, he is going to work 2 soup. Wait, no, he's not. He's gonna go straight to Hyrule 3. Nice little jump from Zelda to get out of the way. Wow, quick phase 1. And time for soup. And Zelda is up. Time for phase 3.
Distraction, destruction, deflection, and decoration, am I right?
Yes. And with that, Ganon becomes a Master Sword pedestal. Wait.
GG.
Yes, absolutely. GG's to wooferzfg. As Neefe is breaking the barrier down, he will not be far behind. And yes, our hero of the day was not Sans, it was not Link, it was E. Neefe is just going to run straight up, straight into the Phantom Ganon fight. We'll see if Woofer wants to join us for a little bit.
He said we should just wait on, or he agreed we should wait on Neef.
Okay. Which Neefe will probably maybe be 10 minutes at most, depending on his sniping of Phantom, or Papa Ganon, rather.
Yeah, I don't think he ever got the boomerang.
He did not, and I think that's why he was looking at that second chest, to see if he could pick up a boomerang real quick before coming in here.
Ah.
Ooh, just missing the first shot. There we go. Just one down. There's 2. I think this is supposed to be a bear. Ooh, nice third shot. Wait, he does have the boomerang. Where did neefe pick up the boomerang?
I'm not sure. I probably just missed it.
I think we both did. On phase 2 of the Puppet Cannon fight. Ooh,
Nice snipe.
that's a good shot.
Another
Wow.
good shot.
I didn't think that second one was going to hit.
neefe is very experienced at this game.
All right, well, completely forget about the fact when I said I didn't know how comfortable he was. Apparently, he's very comfortable sniping.
Alright. That is Puppet Cannon down.
You have to climb the rope. You know, we're going to see a double sub 2 hour in this seed, which is actually quite fantastic to see.
Yep.
And with neefe in the Ganon fight, it looks like he's poised to have just about as quick a Ganon fight as Woofer did, although he does have a slightly longer phase 1 because he did take that hit. Now, here's my question. Why do we need Zelda silver light arrows and not our own light arrows?
Because Zelda logic.
Fine. I guess because it is Zelda herself, we can let her logic be her logic. And
GG's.
absolutely, we now have 2 Ganondorf Master Sword pedestals. Which I would argue this is the most violent death we see for Ganondorf in the whole series.
Yeah, it is pretty violent, isn't it?
Yes, especially for a game that overall is very much not so. It's like, here's a dude getting stabbed in the head, okay.
Alright, looks like we're gonna get them in here.
And I'll go ahead and say, once do give both of these runners a follow, as they give us an absolutely excellent match within 10 minutes of each other.
Oh, hello, chi-chis to both of you.
Hello.
Hey,
Wow, what a race.
I did
So-
a race last night against, who was it, Chevy? And now this race, and they were both super close. People are getting good.
Wow, what a crazy seat, though.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I was glad that at the very start I got the Picto box because that makes the Cliff Plateau route worth it. I don't think it led to too much though, besides Din's Pearl, I think.
Yeah, I think there was just that behind.
I want to say there was something up in Linzo's chest on the right side.
Well, you got like bombs and then I think the wallet.
Yeah, both being required. So yeah, was a required thing. Eh.
So, as you can tell by the time, you guys kept this very close to within just a couple minutes of each other. Really, it didn't look like either of you guys made any major routing errors or whatnot. It just, one of you guys was just a little bit in front of the other, and that was what told it.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't say I made any routing errors, but I was getting frustrated. I made a lot of little mistakes. Like, it took me forever to get storage at Helmarock. I was kind of getting mad at that.
Hey, it's a lot better than I do. I usually take like 2 minutes to get that. I really need to practice that at some point.
I mean, there is always the option to fight Helmarock the normal way.
Right.
Would not
Yeah.
recommend.
No.
I have
Or fight him the
tried-
normal way when you do the storage. There's also that option.
I have done Wind Waker HD too many times to not appreciate the beauty of storage, Helmarock. But, oh, neefe. Why were you
Yeah.
still checking a couple chests after you, got the Master Sword?
I needed the key for the under in the basement of Wind Temple.
Oh, you didn't have a key. Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, Wind Temple Go mode is weird. Can take forever sometimes.
Luckily, the small key and the Master Sword were in the same room, so it wasn't too bad.
Very true.
Glad we got the big key right away, though, because I don't know the boss key skip.
Don't you just
Just
kind of get
chest storage.
Then you just like walk into some thing and by the door.
Yeah, I actually got to do chest storage in Forsaken Fortress and Dragon Roost. I did it, but it wasn't worth it. It could have been though. It was
Yeah,
pretty interesting.
I was like looking for the boss key in Dragon Roost because I already opened the chest next to the boss door, and I realized I was being slow. I could have just done storage if I would have waited to open.
I
those
mean,
things.
I ended up getting the boss key anyway because it was under the rope bridge. If it was in the big key chest, I would have skipped it.
Right. I was worried because I kind of just forgot to get the big key chest. I was worried there would be an item there.
So how about the fact that you guys pretty much had everything you needed to clear the dungeons in like what, an hour?
pretty nice. Yeah, this is one of the fastest I've done. It's a really quick seed.
Yeah, I thought you were in go mode at first, and then I got reminded of the bow upgrades and the sword upgrade.
Yeah, we just had to find those, and it was kind of choosing between overworld and dungeons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in between Forsaken Fortress and Wind Temple, at first I wasn't going to do anything overworld, but then I decided, you know what, I'll just check Cabana and that's it. And then of course it had light arrows. So that was pretty lucky.
Do you guys remember where the boomerang was? Because we forgot. Or I forgot.
Cabana? I think.
Yes. Yeah, it was the other chest in Cabana.
That would do it. So yeah, double sub hour. Definitely an impressive run from both of you guys. Woofer, this is going to put you at 2-0 in the group, and neefe, this is going to put you at 0-1.
Yeah, but Neefe's got this. Our group's kind of easy.
Nice.
I mean, I feel a little insulted. I am kind of an easy one. Neefe, you want to race sometime? We gotta race at some point.
Yeah.
I am neutral to that comment.
Yeah. I don't know when you can race. I can't race tomorrow, but
Hey, I'm free pretty much anytime. When are you free this week?
don't really know yet. I'll have to let you know.
Okay. Cool.
But yeah, GG, Neef. Good luck
Yeah,
in your
GG.
other matches.
Thanks. You too.
So I think unless you guys have any final thoughts on this seed and how things are going in this tournament so far, I think that is going to do it for us. But I'll leave the floor to you guys if you have any last.
Nope.
Nope.
Alright, well, I've been Math Girl, and joining me today was also on commentary. Give everybody a follow, give the Speed Gaming Network a follow. Have a great night, everybody.